Oh my god. Hold on. I feel like the mic is a little too hot. Let me turn that down just a little bit. But honestly, you all let me know. This is like such a rush setup. I had it all planned out. I really thought this was going to be perfect, and then SCGCon kind of like pulled the rug a bit on some of the help that I thought they were going to lend. That's all right. That's all right. We're good. In the commentary booth today, primarily, is going to be myself, Sant. Also joined by my friend Alex Keeler, who's helping out in the background with some last-minute tape down. Let me know what the sound is like, because all I hear is the table noise, because I need to, hear what they're going on. If it sounds good to you, Jim, awesome. We're going to be moderating chat lightly, but for my mods in chat, please do your best on your end. This is going to be a big event, hopefully. There's a lot of big names still carried over from Worlds. We've got Matthew Folks, we've got Phil McKay, we've got Tommy Fresh, we've got Brody, the YJs, everybody. So really excited, because what a huge slew of names to bring to a battle hardened event. These things tend to be, little itty bitty. But this one's actually going to be quite good. So we'll jump into the overhead here. I think they were still just getting set up. All right. So this is what we've got going on for us for feature match 1. On the left here, let me go ahead, throw in his name. This is Sherman on the right. and this is Cashium on the left. Perfect. All right, so let me go ahead, reset the round timer as well. Count up. Sorry, it's a lot of, and start. There we go. It's a lot of manual stuff to get us rolling here today. But yeah, we've got hand cams, we've got face cams, we've got everything that you should need for a pretty decent viewing experience. But like I said, a little bit on the fly. Let me bump this up a little bit on the fly. Hopefully the sound balance is also decent here. You should be able to hear in the background the players at least a little bit. Players at least a little bit will be popping up in the background. They are mic'd up. So as long as the casters quiet down, their audio will pick up. So let me just go ahead and test that real quick. All right, well, they are silent, so they're not talking, but I think you can get the idea that it should function, right? We've got the timer ticking down in the background. I don't actually know the player count or the round count. I'll fix that in a bit. In fact, I should probably just take that off the stream for now, but that's what we've got just in the preset overlay, so disregard that for the moment here. But joining me in the booth already is actually a good friend, Alex Keeler. Alex, say hello. Are you mic'd up? Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
Yeah, just talk in.
Hey, stream, how you doing?
Beautiful. Oh, wait, you know what? Why is Dromai not popping up here?
Say what?
Viscera is in here. Let's see, are all the dragons in here? They are. Dromai herself is not in the handcam thing. Alright, that's alright. Lost internet. Hold up. Alright, trying to fix the internet, sorry. It is a bit of a hotspot issue, I think, because we are in a basement. And this basement is like 2 stories under a casino. So we're doing the best we can with internet. But if it's like a little shaky, apologies, that's just... Unfortunately, that's really the best we're going to be able to do. It's a little rough, but we're 2 stories underground. So hopefully you can enjoy the rest of it. And if it's a little shaky, then, please bear with us. But for the most part, I think it should be pretty nice viewing experience. Did everything I could here on getting this camera. We've got a beautiful mirrorless camera, which is hopefully carrying through a lot of good quality video feed to y'all. Also brought a bit of a sun, what would you call that, like a sunscreen?
Yeah, sun visor.
Sun visor? That's
go.
probably right. A sun visor to try to help with some of the glare. There's a little bit coming from Cashium's side, that's just how it is. But looks like his head is helping us out there, look at that. Helping take away some of that glare. So it looks like this matchup, pretty interesting. Yesterday, I was playing against Cashium in the Shapeshifter Sealed, whatever the hell we were doing. And Dark Odious, you're already saying, yeah, this is an Iris Dromai. So he had told me last night when we played that he'd be on a bit of a spicy Dromai list. And I asked him, well, would you want to be on stream with it? And he said, absolutely. So I think he's brought for us here an Iris of Reality Dromai. How successful he'll be? I mean, we're not quite sure. This matchup is supposed to be pretty tough, right, for a traditional Dromai, but he's on a blue heavy list, obviously, just to pay for Iris, so maybe that changes things. What do you know about this matchup, Alex? Anything? I don't.
I think that Dromai's probably got a pretty good head start on Viscera here. I don't think that that's going to be a good matchup for him, but we'll see. He took a pretty aggressive tone play. Looks like it was just make a rune chant Arsenal pass. I know he won the dice roll. I feel like Dromai has a advantage here, but we'll see.
Yeah, can you pull up Iris of Reality? I think we got some people asking in the chat, what is going on?
Yeah.
And the reality is, we're not quite sure what is going on. I've never seen this list. I've never seen it play. All I was warned is that it's spicy. So hopefully we get to see some of that actually come up, maybe make some good plays. I do worry. I do worry that you can't really close games very effectively with this.
Want to play Command and Conquer?
I'm not sure. All right, one second. Let me check the stream here. It looks like it's dropping some frames. I just want to make sure. Make sure that it looks like live. It is definitely having some issues with the hotspot. Hopefully it's... Alright, you guys let me know. I can't actually stream it in full quality down on our end because the internet's too bad. But I'm watching it in 144p, and it seems okay. So you all will have to let me know if it's watchable or not. Hopefully yes, hopefully yes. But we're going to keep powering through regardless. Because sometimes the internet's functioning, sometimes it's not. So we'll just hope it is for the most part. But we've got the Dromai taking a turn to just play out CNC, which demands an early equipment block from Sherman. That's interesting. Looks like he was just caught on too many 2-blocks in that hand. But Dromai's not a deck with too many on-hits, so it's probably okay if that Arsenal piece was really something he wants to use. Viserai normally operates pretty well off 3 cards, right? So he kept 2 in hand, still has his Arsenal. He's probably okay. Now on our end, actually, I can blow up the... It looks fine here? Okay, perfect. I can actually blow up what we see on this end. This might help. Come on, computer. You can do it. Alright, there we go. Now we can actually see this game a lot better, honestly. So we can even take a peep at these hand cams, because before it was on a bit of a small screen. Okay, so we've got Sherman returning here with what he probably hoped was a popper for his going second turn into Dromai. Being able to clear a dragon, but that is not what Kashim's strategy is. He is instead on the Iris plan, which we are still yet to really see pull off anything too unique here. But so far they're trading CNCs and erase faces, those wonderful, wonderful generics.
Generic gameplay, strongest gameplay.
Not too flavorful for Viserai, not too flavorful for Dromai yet, is it?
No, not
really.
We're gonna see what the spice is here soon, I'm sure.
I hope so. I hope so. So we've got Sweeping Blow, creating an Ash. Actually, is this how it operates? Ashes aren't auras, are they? They're just tokens. I think they're just tokens. Do we have Ash in here? Yep. So you can't actually swing with an Ash, right? Even with Iris. Ash right here. No, it is just a token, so you can't swing with it. So he does actually have to play out things like Burn Them All, things like the blue auras, make Spectral Shields to actually get any mileage out of the Iris. So it's going to definitely take a while for him to build up that kind of board state.
7.
Alright, we hear Kashim say it's coming in for 7 here. Just playing an aggressive hand. Not a very efficient hand as far as damage goes. Right, that was a total of 4 cards for just pushing 10. But I guess he created a Nash out of it. So there is that. But he chose to make that play instead of play at that Pierce Reality. He pitched the Pierce Reality on the Sweeping Blow. So he is delaying his board state plays to actually swing with Iris here. Maybe it's part of a longer strategy. Maybe he just cares about damage more than board state in the early game against Viserai. Not quite sure how this goes. Oh, yeah.
Here we go. That's the Viserai turns we're used to.
These are the Vis turns where they definitely want to keep that hand, just pump out as much damage as possible. But we are seeing it also go a little bit sideways. Not what I expected out of the 2 costs that normally come out of these Viserai turns. This is a Drowning Dire. Good, I forgot that name, Alex. Thank you. You got me on the card bubble.
You can trust the chain guy to know Runeblade cards.
If you played or created an aura this turn, Drowning Dire gains Dominate. Okay, and then it puts a non-attack action from the graveyard on the bottom of the deck when it hits.
He's coming in for 2 rune chance, 5 dominate, on hit, trigger, make. Is that a yellow? Make 2 more.
It looks like a yellow, yeah. Right, so it's stacking a bit of the on hits with that dominate, but it is early enough that Kashim's got the equipment if he really deems it worthwhile. Which I would hope he does. Mordred Tide just creates extra free value on those mob rune turns. So that's normally when you have to go ahead and throw your equipment in. It's really just mob rune hit effects, which aren't huge, but now it's stacking at least with Drowning Dire's hit effect, right? So you get double the mileage out of the equipment. From Kashim, looks like his hand is at least a little awkward on the blocking front. I see at least an Art of War. Come on, move your hand, buddy.
The one player without hand shuffling habits.
Oops. Oh, did it die? Oh no. Hold up, this is the issue in going full screen, is we can't actually see how the internet's doing. No, it's back, but man, it is really cutting in and out. We can
and block the other one, right? It's individual, right? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
individual.
we can actually try the in-house internet. I doubt it's better, but when we actually have a second in between rounds, it's probably worth it. Oh, I do get annoyed when things don't work as beautifully as I wanted to, but you know we're in a basement underneath a casino, so I guess it just is
Yeah.
what it is. Unfortunately,
Basement under casino is not ideal.
No.
But this stream setup, Ethan, like, you know, this is amazing. We've been watching TCGs on our end for, I don't know, 10 years. Never had hand cams, live, card pop-ups, face cams. You're doing an excellent job.
Thank you. It's been a long effort. Like I kept saying to everyone, hopefully they can hear. This was like a year in the making to try to actually get my little mobile streams to this, because I would still consider this mobile. You saw it.
Yeah.
It packs up pretty well within like a backpack and a half. And so in theory, like I could take this anywhere. We're trying to just actually go ahead and debut it at the first event with Dynasty, which actually this matchup's not going to show that much of it off, to be fair, but we did have to precede our round one just so that SCGCon didn't get annoyed, because they don't want me taking extra time with the stream. So we had to just grab some people that I met last night, and you know we'll do our best to scout out something more interesting with the new cards for next round. I know that Phil McKay, the wonderful Phil McKay, the legend out from Down Under, is actually on. You know what he's on?
I know what he's on. He's
Oh,
on.
I know what he's on. He's on
Arachne?
Arachne. Oh yeah, he's on Arachne. It is incredibly spicy, so I really want to see if we can get some of those games on stream. He's absolutely convinced Arachne is actually pretty goated, as he would say. It's the juice, whatever the children are up to. It's actually his birthday as well, so I really hope we do get him on. I'm only on this tangent because I really do just kind of zone out when it comes to these too easy Viscerai turns. Sorry. Someone in the chat is saying, super fun, definitely interesting, you can't control the internet as much. Yeah, that's definitely an issue. I actually had some good internet options going into this. The issue was just that we're 2 stories under.
Then I dropped.
We are underground here at this Valley Forge Casino Resort, and unfortunately, SCGCon did not help with internet, even though I pleaded. So we are just doing the best on our own end here. So it's just going to be what it is. We'll hope to maybe find a solution, whatever we can do, if it gets too bad. But honestly, it seems watchable. I have it pulled up on my laptop, and it seems okay.
Yeah, we see Dan in chat. Cody came over and got some cards nearby us earlier, so we see he's on Arachne too. So we'll try to get some big names on some spicy decks today. I know some people are on this new Dash list, so it should be a really, really interesting SCGCon to tune into.
Right. Matt Folks is on that dash.
Yeah, Matt Folks is, yes.
So very, very high-level players who are already trusting in the Dynasty set release here. So in all honesty, when Kashim told me yesterday that his Dromai deck was spicy, I thought he meant he was using the new Ash. So I don't think those necessarily come up in this game plan, though. As we see him hold a hand of an E-Strike and a Razor Reflex. How cool is it, Alex? We get to say what's in his hand. Oh, it's so beautiful. But he just comes in there, E-Strike. I believe he said just +2. I believe.
Yeah, it's looking like E-Strike for 7 here again.
Yep.
Taking the good old Battle Mage approach of block and give you 7 back. Seems to be a standard this format.
Hey, that's a good rate. I mean, you know who does that better? Those Icelander.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that deck is so good is because it says 2-card 8.
Yeah.
It says 1-card 3 and Frostbite and Arcane. It's pretty crazy. Iris Dromai, yes, Zakar. That's what we're looking at. Someone says 11 out of 10 stream setup. Thank you, Patrick. And Patrick would know what's up. That man is a perfectionist. If you've ever seen his own feature film, American Psycho. This guy's either a genius with a secret plan, or he just loaded Iris Dromai for the meme. I played against Cash. He's definitely a funny guy. He laughs a lot. We haven't heard him laugh this game though. I think Sherman is really putting him on the wire here. Viscerai is no joke. Viscerai just kind of does the same thing all the time. To Sherman's credit, he's playing some cards I haven't seen in a good while. What is this one called, Alex? Do you know?
I'm 90% sure that's
No,
it.
that's not it. That's an attack. It's one of the ones from Everfest, the 2-cost. Like Reek or something? Reek of Corruption Red, is it that one? Oh, the mouse is lagging. Is it? Does that look right? I think it is. Reek of Corruption. Yeah, that's about right. Is it buffering a lot for anyone else? Yeah, unfortunately, there is buffer just because of the internet. So maybe you can't watch it live. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, there was a mask on. They wanted one on. Maybe we can take it off right now. Here. Yeah, maybe you just can't watch it live. Like, just bounce it back a little bit, and it'll be better for you. We're doing what we can with the internet here, so just make do. But it does look like Sherman came in with a Reek of Corruption, which says, if you've played or created an aura this turn, Reek of Corruption gains 1 to 6 here, discard a card. So he's going for the same 2-cost route that Mavrian Rosetta likes to play for. He's just using different 2-cost attacks. It's a different approaching.
It looks like he made an Ash and quelled the 4th damage on this.
Oh, is that a Blooded Drakai as well that he pitched? Wow, that's going to get pretty much 0 value this turn.
It looks like a Tome of Firebird, actually.
No, that's a Blooded Drakai, 100%. 100%. Come on, you don't recognize, who did that, Steve Argyle? Yeah, pull it up. Blooded Drakai, that's absolutely that guy.
So,
Yeah, oh, come on. That's totally it. No.
No, that's definitely
Oh,
Tome
no,
of the
you're right.
Firebird.
Oh, dude, you're right. Damn, good thing we got you here. Good thing we got you here.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Dozer. You know the truth. We're on mod Wi-Fi because we're 2 stories underground. So if you have to just set it back a little bit, it's not the biggest deal. Just bump back. If you can't watch live, just watch, like, tune in behind to avoid buffer. We can't help the Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
SCGCon
we went and got 2 hotspots. We're trying 2 different hotspots. We've got the desktop on its own plugged in internet. It's just the best we can get in this basement. Not the best venue, but we're making it work, boys.
All right, here we go. Look, here's an idea. Ask the chat. If they want to help us get better Wi-Fi, spam the hell out of SCGCon and let us connect. They will not give us permission. I asked weeks in advance to try to actually get on their Wi-Fi here. I even tried to get on one of their Chromebooks that they have for registration and look into the Wi-Fi password, but unfortunately the Chrome OS does not let you look at the password. You'd have to start it and like developing it, which I couldn't get away with.
It looks like this Viscerai player is on this strategy of Mavered into Drowning Dire.
Someone asked in chat, good question, is Levi good into Ice Lexi? I still think so. I absolutely think so. Losing to Ranger is like very hard. You have to actively play poorly into the Ranger, honestly. Because if there's another deck in the game that has inconsistency issues as much as Levi, it's Ranger. But funny enough, you actually are just better because you actually have 2-card hands that you can play for. So never waste a 2-card hand. Always prioritize your 2 cards in arm. Stuff like Endless Mirror, your Swing Bigs, even your like Hungrings for 7, all that stuff. But that's enough of Levi tips. We're off. We're taking a break.
So this hit trigger gave him back a Mordred Tie, but on the bottom of his deck, it did make an extra rune chance from Maverin here on hit.
Ooh. Oh, you hear some of that Cash laugh. I told you, he's a funny guy. But look what that hit trigger did for him. Let the Amplify come in for free. Whew. What a punish. What a punish. It's presenting a lot of damage again, because this Mavrian has Go Again. Or sorry, this Amplify has Go Again from that other Mavrian, which is then going to show a Rosetta here. So there's definitely enough damage on board for lethal, which is just kind of insane. Poor Cash, I think, is already down to... What is that, a 1-card hand? Not quite sure, maybe 1 or 2. I looked away. The Levi chat was distracted.
I don't think he blocked at all that first attack.
Oh, he didn't?
He let it go through, and that's why it generated 2.
Oh, he does
He's got
have
a
4
full
cards.
grid.
Yeah. Alright, good. He just had it stacked. Alright, stop distracting me with Levi tweets. I'll go on too many times.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
So you go on Levi rants, I got you.
This is why we got Alex. Alright, we did have an SCGCon person walk up to the stream. Perhaps they are fretting over the decision to not help us. And they want to make this the premier coverage of SCGCons going forward. Fingers crossed. I know there's a couple people. 2 judges are now conversing. Maybe it worked. Tweet more, people. Tweet more.
It looks like this Amplify got 2 blocks from him.
Yeah.
Looks like he's running Burning Point, and I actually don't know what that card is.
It's a Breaking Point plus... that's some other draconic thing. That might be Searing Touch underneath. Definitely some funky Rupture cards. Cash is abandoning the Ashwing strategy and yet he's still including so many ruptured cards.
Double check the way for
Interesting.
Looks like they're calling a judge to ask a question about when he attacks into an aura with Rosetta Thorn.
Yeah, what happens now with the rune chants? It used to be that if you swung with a weapon, the rune chants do not pop. I'm not sure. Or sorry, the rune chants. Which way was it? It used to be one way, and then maybe they changed it. We can actually shut up here and listen to it. 1 second.
Okay, so when you attack with the Rosetta, the first thing that happens is the triggered ability goes on the stack. So before the attack resolves, the arcane damage happens. So you still get the arcane damage from the Rosetta.
Okay. And the rune chants go with that as well?
Let me confirm. Okay, I'll be right back.
I knew there was a rule, they just changed it. Yeah, it's from the rules on it, so I just want to...
All right. See, look at how beautiful. What an amazing stream we have here. We were able to listen in on the judge. He doesn't even know that we did listen to him. So I should probably let him know at some point, but that's all right.
I don't think I've ever seen a stream where we can tune into the players on demand. It's pretty good.
Oh, Yuanji's walking over. What happened, Yuanji? You win already? Oh yeah. Yuanji's metaslaving away on Icelander. No sweat. Just ice cold, ice chills.
We'll get some live commentary from Yanji.
Yeah, once
maybe
he
in
scrubs
between
out.
rounds.
No. Once he scrubs out.
Once he scrubs out, got him. Which won't happen. I'm sure we'll see him in top 8.
Yeah, if I had to guess the top 8, I really feel like I could name like 6 out of 8 correctly already. There's just so many good players here. So many. All right, I'm gonna try to set my laptop a little behind. Let's see. So, I mean, in theory, I've got my laptop pulled up to what it looks like at 1080p, and sure enough, if you just bounce back a little bit, then you don't have to deal with the buffer. So yeah, you won't see it like second per second live. That's not so bad.
What happens when you activate the weapon?
All right, let's shut up.
Before it even becomes an attack. So you don't get the Rosetta damage. No, you get the rune chant, but not the Rosetta.
So if he chooses to attack the illusionist aura, it's going to pop the aura, the rune chants go through, but the Rosetta damage does not.
Perfect. I'm glad you were listening. I was once again distracted by Flake. I'm literally getting ADHD from like streaming so much. There's so many things going on. It's like hard to focus. But we have Flake jumping in saying he loves me, Ethan Van Sauce. Man, how many titles am I picking up here? We've got Team Covenant who calls me Brand Sant. We got Flake with the Van Sauce. I've got my man Stans in the chat. I love it. This is good. It's a good community we're fostering here.
Maybe we'll get something spicy back from the Dromai here, but some tells me it's another 7 attack.
This looks awful. Yeah, unfortunately, for a janky build like this to play into... I mean, it's not like the Viscera is playing the best cards as so far.
Yeah, they're on some interesting choices at the very least.
They're playing the right cost curve. They're just playing the interesting... interesting ones, the ones that don't generate just as much damage value, it's more utility value. Because we're missing like Spellblade Assault, we haven't seen Shrill, those would be the good damage pushes. Instead, he's gone for the route of like the strange on hits. But even with those plays, we see the damage lead he's taken away. Just because Cash is on, bit of a jank list. It is. It's what it is. He's at least developed 2 auras now, so if he ever gets the room to keep 2 blues, he can maybe swing 8 if the Spectral Shield doesn't die. Oh, the plays.
The gas.
The gas. I don't really see him flying back, which is unfortunate because, it was definitely a cool idea. But I think this kind of answers the question, the age-old question that we've been asking since the dawn of Vulcan Wraith. Why don't you play Iris and Dromai? Age-old question.
That's probably been racking on all the viewers' minds. Like, why aren't we playing Iris? It just seems so powerful.
We had like 8 Dromai mains immediately in the chat. What? Stop! Don't do this! Don't show the sauce. Imagine if Cash had won, though. Imagine. Okay, he's not even unfortunately pitching blues for this. This is rough. Imagine he actually won this game. What it would have done.
Yeah. From Buyer, Iris is a reality now.
It's okay. We gave him the chance to do it.
It could have been the spice, ladies and gentlemen. You could have been watching the next best meta deck.
Someone says, do you think it's a good idea to have judge calls on stream? I mean, in theory, it's the same as any judge call anywhere. Like, it's not like if a judge call is in private, it's in private. They will walk you away from the table, and they will handle it that way. None of that is ever going to be on stream. But for just a normal table call, just a rules clarification, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's spectator privilege anyway. Anyone can just listen.
Right.
But if there is anything that ever needs to happen away from the table, then, of course, they will not be within earshot of the stream. So Sherman has enough room here to actually launch in with Tome of the Arc Knight. What's he
Meet and
hit?
greet. And the CNC.
Oh.
So it's a second whiff of the game.
Second wave, but does he even need it? Does he even need those to hit? Reality, probably not. Oh, okay, he is actually running the quote-unquote, like, good cards. He's got Spellblade Assault there. He's thinking about... what is he thinking about? He can't tome again. He's got another tome in hand, but, the cards don't shuffle. So there is no play to actually play that out. I'm not quite sure what he's thinking about. Maybe, like, pitch for a Rune Chant instead of keep it in Arsenal, but he seems eager to actually play out the tomes, so I'm sure that in Arsenal just totally fits how he wants to play it.
4.
And he's banking the 3 Rune Chants for next turn, so we do know that the meet and greet will be coming in that next hand, so any Arcane that does go through will give it go again. So if he can get a critical mass of Rune Chants, maybe just even 4, then it will push over and just make meet and greet have go again.
Looks like took 3, popped Spectral Shield, kept his whole grip, so maybe we'll see some spicy Dromai action coming back. He has 3 Rune Chants and a Tome in Arsenal, so if he can keep any sort of cards here, it's probably over on the next turn or two.
Oh, definitely. Sherman is asking to read Iris again because I don't think we've seen it do anything yet. Maybe it swung once. I think it did swing once last turn, to be fair. Alright, on Cash's side, he's actually got a Nourishing Influence in hand, so he's really running all the spice. Because Dromai is one of those decks that actually can get value out of Nourishing, even with a bunch of attacks in the deck, because Burn Them All will banish the reds. Now, unfortunately, that's not going to come up this game. He's way too much on the back foot, and Burn Them All hasn't stuck long enough to buy out, or to burn out the graveyard anyway. So this is a very weak turn so far. What other cards do we have? He's got a Blaze Headlong and an Erase Face. So he can definitely Furnace for that Erase Face to come in next. Interesting though, these Ashwings don't have go again, so Cash chose to not transform because all that Ashwing does is get Arcane Barrier, right? So, because he can't swing with a Chain of Them. So if he has just one on the board, I guess he's fine with that. And then maybe he uses the Ash for what, like Sand Cover? What else do you use Ash for?
Big Dragon? Maybe he's playing some of the stronger ones?
Yeah, but they all still just use one Ash. Maybe he does have them in the deck. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention. Truth be told. Yeah, but he's definitely sitting on a lot of Ash, so...
Yeah, so he did exactly what you
hopefully-
said. He activate Furnace here, make an Ash, and come in with Erase Face.
I mean, Erase is really good against Viscerai. It looks like Sherman's already clunking on his hand a little bit. From what I can see, it looks like an all-attack hand, perhaps. He definitely blocked with the Meet and Greet already, which is normally a card that you're likely to keep when your hand is large, like he has the room to do this turn. But he doesn't like a lot of what he's looking at. We know he has the CNC, looks like a Spellblade Assault, and... what is that other card in hand? I don't quite recognize it.
I don't know why I thought that looked like another
It looks
tome.
like another tome. Like, it legitimately... but I don't want to say that because he's already played 2, right? He played
He
one turn
definitely
1.
played 2.
He's got 1 in Arsenal, so how is... oh, wait, did he put one on the bottom?
Oh,
Drowning
with
Dire.
the
Oh,
Drowning
okay, so it is
Dire.
a-
Okay.
Alright, yeah, so it is another tome.
Where
And
did
he really
shuffle
loves his
his decks
tomes.
from?
That's a good question. What did he shuffle his deck from? Maybe, did he become at some point? Did he Sonata?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I missed this one too. Maybe
Look, this is the problem with having like 8 screens in front of you. I looked away and we've missed something absolutely critical in this Iris Dromai versus on-hit Viscerai matchup. I'm sorry.
it's definitely a tome from Arsenal. He definitely played
Yeah.
2 already, so there shouldn't be another tome.
Peyton says if he had won, he would have quit playing Dromai. Peyton, come on. I thought you already quit. You're washed, aren't you? You need to move on already. When's the last time you picked up a win with Dromai?
It's 3 versus count.
Sorry, Peyton. We do love you. I really thought you were going to be here. Peyton almost was my co-caster today, Alex. He almost beat you out for the slot, but he had to work on Sunday. And I was not eager to make that drive again. It's like 5 hours home.
Yeah.
And after all the hard work it's been to get here, I think I do want to play tomorrow. Like, honestly, streaming's cool and all, but they won't protect our setup, so we do have to tear it down and then to set it all back up again for tomorrow.
Yeah, this was the big one. I don't think anyone's too excited to watch side events tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, we've got a bot in the chat, which we will get rid of. Oh, Luca, I'm the biggest proponent of letting people play whatever they want. I mean, I can't quit Levia. It's an absolute awful addiction I have. It's an itch I can't scratch. But for people to comment in chat about their preferences is totally fine. We don't want to rip on anyone's deck choice here. I'm like, that's legitimately why I wanted Cash on with his spicy Dromai. I didn't know it was going to be Iris. It is cool to actually see it. I'm not sure we're seeing the best of it. Actually, I think we can definitely say we're not seeing the best of it. But I had just never seen it in general. So it's always cool to share the spotlight.
Somehow we're coming in here
like
7-13 still, which is not that far of a disparity considering how bad it looked.
Yeah, that is awkward. Well, the life lead, I feel like it was just like 25-10 or something a second ago. To be fair, there's 9 damage showing right now. So, it's lethal. Cash does need to interact with this, and then of course it's going to slow down his ability to fight back with his next hand, because it will be significantly smaller.
I mean, one proponent of this deck, so it looks like he took the 3 immediately, and then he's moving the blocks now. But theoretically, he could block with 3 cards and keep a blue and come back for 4 here, right? Every turn? So,
like, in theory, that's what this deck is trying to do, is just turn
block
one card
4,
into
take 2
4.
here.
But going to 2 is... Alright, looks like, they did catch that themselves as well. Alright, I'm just going to check something with the internet again.
I mean, what we're getting is fine.
Yeah, it's so crazy, because when it drops and then comes back, it's actually quite good. It's just like on the in-between. That's a little rough. Alright, also their names can get moved a little bit. I did notice this. They're a little too high. You know me, perfectionist, sorry.
Midstream, checking 1 pixel on font on the names.
You want me to make it work, Alex? Here we go. We're going to ruin the viewer experience. No. Cash is a lovely guy, though. There you go. Get a bit of a close-up on him. Alright.
Coming in with a Consuming Volition, 2 Arcane. Looking like probably going to take his hand here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the deal, right? Even though Fog Down is out, Cash is so low that pretty much anything Sherman did was going to buy him lethal. I think Fog Down really comes up bigger in those moments mid-game and early game where it can buy you room into that Viserai 5-card hand that they wanted to keep, to then say, oh, sorry, like your Mordred, Revel, Mauve Ranger, like just will not work. I'm going to buy my room to breathe on this turn that you tried to play with Arsenal, and then pivot. If you're going to play Fog Down, that's normally like when it's coming up. But in this type of scenario, keeping 3 to play Fog Down when Cash is dead to so many things was not enough to buy him back into this game, I think. Because we saw exactly that. Like, lethal is being presented 3 times over. 2 rune chance, and then 4 physical. So, literally 3 times the amount of damage needed to kill Cash there. Poor guy. Alright. Just to reiterate, by the way, if stream dies, like, just bounce back a little. We are going to just deal with some of the dropping. It's just how it is. But I hope you can bear with it. Just don't watch it live. Watch it, like, a minute behind or something. It'll be fine. In fact, I can actually... Maybe I can do something on my end to fix a bit of the latency.
I'll move ours.
Because we don't need to interact with chat directly live.
So it was a pitch to block Rune Chance, 1 card, go to 1. So he's still got a 2-card hand here. I imagine Sherman's just going to give him pretty much free reign here to attack. He's got 13 life. and then give him back a 5-card hand.
Okay, so I actually can't change the latency once the stream is started. I'm getting a warning from YouTube that to avoid buffering, yeah, sure enough, like, watch it in the past a little bit, which is something I've already been saying, but YouTube now agrees. Like I said, we'll see what we can do in terms of fixing it. If I hear something from SCGCon about accessing their Wi-Fi, incredible. Incredible. Flake even tweeted, oh, shout out to Flake. Hey, SCGCon, are you able to hook up my boy, Sant Sauce, with some Wi-Fi access? Perfect. We got a lot of people asking. Thank you so much, folks. Because this really is something I wanted to do as best as we could for the community here. That's the whole point. The stream is for you all. Show off the new Dynasty set, which, like I said, we did have to just jump into a round 1, so I coordinated with Cash last night about what we would be bringing to stream, but for next round, we'll definitely find someone. There should be enough time with the round timer left over for us to pre-coordinate, and actually pre-coordinate doesn't, that's kind of redundant, isn't it? Just coordinate with someone who is playing a new deck. I'd love to get Phil. I hope Phil won.
Yeah,
that'd be fun, right? Phil's got such an attitude. I don't think he totally embraces like the salt mine that people keep keep pegging him as. But he is still a really great player to have on camera. I love his personality. I love his flair. And he's definitely kind of band kid energy, but at the same time, you gotta love him for it. Nothing against band kids either. I was one. Oh my goodness, that is. What did I look at? What I was talking about with this whole pitch situation with Dromai. Yes, he's a, I guess, blue base build with Iris, but he just was caught on 3 reds.
I'm not sure I get the point of having Ash at all in this deck.
So it is a sand cover engine, but are you running like 9 sand cover? That doesn't seem like great value. You're definitely running the reds. Maybe the yellows? I mean, this is just game
and
in.
this is a Revel into Rosetta.
This is what gets me about Viscerai players is they really like take their time. They think, and then the reality is they have those turns like we just saw that are just almost autoplay. Like, sorry, it's what it is. The cards are printed in a certain way where the cost curve is just that good. And I mean, that was incredible. That was what, like Mordred, Rattle, Swarming, Revel, and it would have been in Rosetta too if we had Tunic out. Like, that's just insane. But we got it on stream, a win from Sherman, who is, I don't remember exactly where he lives in New York, but he does live in New York. I see him everywhere. And he did take that win over Cash. So we tried to get the spice for you on camera. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see what we can do for actual new Dynasty cards.
Next round, we should definitely have some spice on stream.
No, Nick, you misunderstand. That kind of turn is autopilot. Like, there just is a complete optimal line, and every Viscerai at this point knows it. Like, every Viscerai knows at this point, oh, I have Mordred, Rattlebone, Swarming, Revel, Rosetta. Like, that is just predestined. Those kind
we
of
call
turns.
that bread and butter turns.
That is the bread and butter of, like, how Viscerai wants to play. You Rattlebones for Swarming. Like, that's just it. So that's what I mean. I'm not saying every Viscerai turn is autopilot.
I'm gonna go check with
those
Phil
turns,
and
those turns are just built that way.
Phil and Folks and see if we can get some commentary on round 1.
Yeah. All right. All right, and with that, gonna wrap up round 1, move to a bit of an ad reel, and then we will set up round 2 for everyone, and see what I can do about the internet still.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Flesh and blood. Out of all the locations of Wraith, the newest expansion, Dynasty, takes us to the Imperial throne of Volcor, right in the midst of the ensuing power struggle between the reigning Jokai and the rebellious Volkai. As the world of Wraith watches the mighty houses clash, a lone operative from the pits threw the realm into chaos. In a flash, the Emperor of Volcor lay dead at the hands of Arachne, Huntsman. Dynasty gives players the tools to play their part in the chaotic fallout. Will you take aim as a ranger, smash and bash with a rock, close contracts as an assassin, or even man the controls of a mech construct? Dynasty is the perfect product for both new and established players. From a box, you can build a brand new assassin deck or add cards to your favorite hero. Find it at your local LGS today.
No matter the format or level of competition you're looking for with Flesh and Blood, SCGCon has got you covered with 3 days filled with as much gaming as possible. On top of big events like Armory and Battle Hardened tournaments, a full suite of side events is always at the ready for any format you want to play. From Classic Constructed, to Blitz, to limited events like Sealed and Draft, on-demand side events will make sure you can get a game whenever you want. Armory events award prize wall tickets and special Armory promos. Check StarCityGames.com/SCGCon to see what format will be featured at the Armory event you're attending. Battle Hardened events provide a higher level of competition and a higher rewards to go along with it. Battle through a number of rounds of Swiss and a single elimination top 8 to win cash prizes, special playmats, and 2 Pro Tour invitations for the finalists. The winner even walks away with an extremely rare Gold Cold Foil Legendary card. Formats vary for Battle Hardened events, so check the schedule before registering. Classic Constructed is considered the quintessential Flesh and Blood experience. Bring an 80-card deck with an adult hero, up to 3 copies of each card, and settle in for a lengthy battle against each opponent. Rounds are 50 minutes long and usually go the distance. Blitz is a constructed format aimed at quicker, fast-paced games. Decks are 40 cards and use young heroes with a limit of 2 copies of each card in your deck. To keep a quick pace, rounds are only 30 minutes long. Draft and Sealed are perfect for players that don't have a deck ready to go. In Sealed, you open up 6 packs and build a 30-card deck. A deck can only use generic cards and cards with the same class and or talent as your hero. Don't worry if your packs don't have a specific hero, weapon, or equipment, those are provided. Draft is a bit different. 8 players have 3 packs and build decks by opening packs one at a time and taking a single card, passing the packs around the table, taking 1 card from each pack. After all cards are selected, players build a 30-card deck just like in Sealed. Not quite sure how to play, but wanting to get involved in Flesh and Blood? Check out our How to Play video. No matter how you play, we look forward to seeing you in the flesh and blood at SCGCon.
Oh, sweet Levi, let's just clean you up for camera a little. And there we go. Hey, I'm Sant, and I'm here to tell you about a great analytical tool for Flesh and Blood that I really enjoy and will help you level up your game. Fabric, found at fabric.gg. If you play or have played Magic the Gathering, you're probably familiar with EDHREC, a powerful website that has become a community staple with useful content and data analysis. Fabric is made by that same great team. What Fabric does is gather a huge amount of competitive deck lists from a variety of sources and then provides useful insight for each hero and the formats in general. On the homepage here, we can see all the heroes from Flesh and Blood. It's defaulted to show both the young and old, but you can set your tab to Blitz or CC only if you'd like. And here we have Dromai, Ash Artist, a powerful and new fun hero from the Uprising set. Instantly, we can see statistics taken from the average of all the deck lists for Dromai. Now, the first thing you can see is the card distribution, pitch, and cost averages. As expected, Dromai has a high number of red cards, and a high number of 0 and 1 cost cards. Additionally, this card distribution chart shows the significant usage of defense reactions. Now, as we scroll down, you will see the most commonly played cards in Dromai separated by their type. Notice the high usage of Phantasmal Footsteps, and lesser so with more niche cards like Crown of Reflection that you normally see coming up in a Dromai's sideboard. Now, scrolling down further, we get to the juicy part, what I definitely want to see, the most popular dragons. Notice how Invoke Chromai, Kyloria, and Miragai are showing up nearly 100% of the time in Dromai decks. These are clearly the staple dragons you want to start your deck with. Now further down we see the dragons people tend to pass up on in their Dromai decks, namely Vincerikai and Themai. So back at the homepage, there are similar data for all the heroes in the world of Wraith. It's a great way for new players to explore each hero and see what cards and types of cards that hero likes to use. Additionally, you can check out the most popular cards in Blitz and Classic Constructed in their Staples tab. Here we see the most popular generic cards that are showing up in each deck, which is really useful for deciding which to invest in as you are getting into the game, since these cards are being used for sure across multiple heroes. Similarly, you can see class staples on this page here, and don't you know it, I'm going to go ahead and click on Brute. Now, as expected, here are the most popular cards by type that are used across each Brute hero, including our favorite, Leviah. Now, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the video here, and be sure to check out my content on Sant at YouTube, streams, gameplay, everything to do with Leviah, and keep your eye out for Fabric as well. Future features for sure. Try it now, a great tool for Flesh and Blood players right here on fabric.gg.
Imagine a world where you create your own card sleeves. Leave the crayons. Your phone? I don't think so. No time for arts and craft. Please don't. What? A blender? Stop! Look here. I'll show you. Use the sleeve crafter. Upload your own images. And print it on a Dragon Shield sleeve. Dragon Shield Sleeve Crafter. Power to create.
All right. Hey, everyone.
Hey guys.
Sant and Alex in. So thank you all for the tweets. I've seen a lot come in, so really it means a lot. Unfortunately, when the SCGCon guy came over, we got all excited, a little giddy in our seats, hair bouncing, and then all he said was put your mask back on. So didn't quite get the response we were hoping for in that regard. He is right, though. I mean, it's still a mask-mandated event. So, I mean, yeah, it'll be a little diluted, but, you know, it is what it is. We got to do it that way. So, apologies for that. Someone in chat had commented about it earlier. But, no, SCG has not stepped in to do anything about internet yet, but, like, it's fine. Like, really, if we just click back on your keyboard just a couple times, it'll be okay, and the VOD will be okay. You just won't get the best chat experience, but hey, it is what it is. At least we're here.
Yeah,
and more exciting.
Go 30 seconds back, you'll be fine. And it's in full 1080p. Just being in a basement, right? There's like nothing we can do about the buffering at peak.
I hate saying you'll be fine because it like curdles my blood, but like it's just what we're gonna have to do. But we do have an exciting next match for you. We've got the dabber, the dancer, the flosser himself, Matt Foltz.
Legend himself on a spicy list too, guys.
Yeah, he's actually on. Should we spoil it?
Should we spoil it?
I mean, why
I think
not?
we have to hype people up, right?
No, okay, no, yeah, so we won't. But let's just say he was constructing this deck for a long while in the wee hours of the morning to get it all together. Like quite literally at the shapeshifter draft, he was scalping around like for everyone who pulled cards he needed. So it should be nice. Now, do I know the names of most of the cards that are about to come up?
No.
Probably not. I tried last night. I did some midnight reading of the entire set list again. I know most of the effects. I just don't remember the card names just yet.
And it looks like the pairings are going up, so I'm gonna run over and grab Matt and his opponent and put him down at the stream table.
You want to give him the brief on that?
Yeah, I got
Okay,
you.
cool. So for now, we will be setting that up and then jumping right into round number 2. What do you want to see in the meantime? We've got all these camera angles. We've got myself with my disheveled hair. I just for the life of me could not get my shit together. I don't like putting product in my hair, so it's a lot of just like showering at the exact right time to actually then go out in public. We didn't quite line it up this morning. Apologies. And then we've got the ambient cam, which I quite like, although we have to be shh about that one. SCGCon doesn't like it. They don't want the ambient cam, but I think it adds a nice little, ambiance. Why not? To the whole setup. We got to see Matt Foltz dance. It's just a nice little personality. You see the players walk by, wave. It's nice. It's cute. We've got a couple people running around in the background right now to hopefully get ourselves set up on stream. They're not giving us an extra set of time or anything for the stream, so we do have to be super quick about pulling people because they don't, it does bite into their actual setup time. So luckily there's enough friendly faces that want to be on stream that I don't think it's like a huge loss. And of course, once we calm down and make it to top 8, it will also be a lot nicer because there's no more rush. It will just be a long top 8, I think. There's going to be those control players. There always are. But we're in for the long haul. There's an upstairs with some nice little food joints, so probably need some coffee pretty soon. Might get some noodles. I had some tacos last night. That sent me straight to the bathroom. That was unfortunate because they were quite good, but they were expensive, and then also probably didn't quite last long enough to get the calories with it. But looks like people are hitting the table now, so we'll switch right over to the overhead.
Perfect. And then, have you ever played Funky Blood on stream?
I have not.
All right, we've got everyone coming back.
For resources.
Okay.
We make sure we fix the time.
It's just
Then
you've done this before, I'm sure. 6 and then 16. Everything.
countdown start. We've got 55 minutes on the clock. It is round
Don't bother with it.
number 2.
Okay. Are these for anything specific?
Just for any like
Equipment and stuff.
Unix, whatever you want to use them for.
Let's see.
Good.
Matthew, how are you?
Hey,
Also a Matthew?
that's me.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, we lost the card pop-up. 1 second. It crashed.
Okay. Cool.
Card viewer.
So the internet can judge me in full.
Alright, unfortunately, I knew this would happen on some cards here. I didn't think it would happen on the new cards, to be fair. I hope it doesn't happen again. Okay, so, alright, pro tip, Alex. Anything that's like a marble or something is a different resolution and will crash the card loader. So,
Okay.
we can't pull up the other side of this, which is unfortunate. But we will be seeing some Dash gameplay versus Bravo. How wonderful. Let me get this. Oops. Sorry, ignore the transition. We've got
I suppose that's a silly question.
What about you?
They're
Matt
both
Cole.
Matthews, by the way.
Oh, should we be fancy about it?
FOULKS.
I can't type.
Want me to get the other guy's name?
Yeah,
Last
yeah.
name?
What's his first name?
Also Matthew.
Oh, also Matthew. Any assassins? Yeah, we do have a bunch of assassins actually, so we will grab them for camera at some point.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I think he said Holstein. Honestly, we can just put H. We'll put Matthew H versus Matthew F. That's good enough. No, it's good. We've got just the initials. We'll be fine. Okay. That's good. All right, Bravo versus Dash. Now this is an age-old matchup, but with brand new, exciting, spicy Dynasty cards. How wonderful! How wonderful! We'll just let Alex get back in and settled. Making you hungry? No, don't listen about the tacos. It was not a good story. Also, apologies again. I'm going to be seeing chat at a delay. There's all kinds of delays going on, but it is what it is. We're not home with my beautiful fiber internet. Here you go.
It's good.
All right. Login. All right, I was just telling the chat here that this is an age-old matchup, but with brand new cards for Dash. I mean, like totally different, like totally revitalized. This entire width of the deck plays. Really want to see what happens here because Matt is full in on constructing his Nitro mechanism. He really is. Dash Hyper Driver, beautiful sugar.
Yeah, so now, these guys are both 1-0, so they both won their first round. And Folks is hyped on this deck. I was talking to him before the tournament. I didn't want to spoil it before we got him on stream, but
Ooh, Folks is a brute player. Wonderful. Hitting his sixes. Or rather, he's not a brute player. The brute players roll ones. Now, Matt is just a bundle of energy, and I'm actually for all the shit he gets, I'm very hopeful we get a great game out of him because I actually really like Matt as a person. He is just a wonderful guy, very friendly, very boisterous. He's got a lot of just hyper energy that is something that doesn't translate well to the table all the time. Like just being a very hyper manic person definitely can give you a bad rep when it comes to what you're doing in a delicate card game.
Yeah, true.
But like really, I've spent a lot of time with Matt off camera, off the table, and he is genuine. Like he is. He just doesn't come across that way because of how manic he is on the table. And to be fair, yeah, he can be a little sharky. Like that's just a personality trait some people have when they play these games. It normally comes from the Magic background where that's kind of how you have to be.
Being trained in the community, but I mean, I can't speak enough for Matt either. Seeing him and interacting with him in person is just a wildly different engagement. He's such a genuine person, like Ethan was saying. Also an incredible flesh of a player, Pro Tour champion.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the guy is cracked. Although he will rant on and on about how you do have to embrace variance in a card game, which of course I don't want to hear about because I'm trying to play Levi with no variance, which he will say on and on is just straight incorrect. You know what, Matt? I only come from an American education, all right, so just let me be. But there we go. Should be fixed a little bit. He's a large man. Oh, perfect.
I got him pulled up over
That
there.
is such a large man. Hope we get him in frame. Is he slouching? I think he is just slouching.
Yeah, he's just sitting back in his chair.
Kicking back a little. We'll still give him some breathing room. Matt H is from the Maryland, Virginia local scene. Beautiful. Okay, hopefully got some Matt fans on both sides in the chat. Let's go ahead and make this a poll. Let's make this a poll. Who do we think is going to win? Who will win? Kicking it off now. Folks, Dash, or Bravo? Let's see. Are people tuned in on how the matchup plays these days? Are they? Oh yeah, to be fair, like, Bravo isn't using the new cards. It's more so the matchup has just changed because Dash is so different. Because there's definitely just a linear plan between both of them. Into the matchup before, Bravo has to just play super aggressive early, push, punish all the non-block hands that Dash could draw to just pressure them to a point where Dominates will end the game before they can construct their Rube Goldberg machine. But now there's a different kind of machine they're trying to construct, and it's straight up just the Nitro Mechanoid, constructing the Nitro Mechanoid. And I just have no idea how it plays anymore. I feel like pressure is still the name of the game on Bravo's side. Going late just can't be good. Can't be good ever against Dash anyway, so it's still going to be a question of how aggressive can they make it. And then it's, just Matt's game to, I guess, build funky items and become a giant mech. It's very strange.
This gives you a resource, and the gun is...
Is that the Hanabi blaster? I hear them talking about it.
It is, yes.
You want everything.
All right. Okay. All right, we DC'd for a second. I think we're back here. Like I said, try not to watch live. Live will just give some issues, but if you're like a minute behind, it'll be good. So once again, apologies, but hey, until... Oh yeah, sorry.
So I can see the footage.
That's right. Let me make this large on our side. Until I can afford some like crazy phone hotspot myself, we are bound by.
I don't know. The hotspots we were able to go get worked in Africa, so I'm really.
Oh wow. No, I think it's just because we're underground.
I think it's literally just we're in a basement, in the back of the basement of that.
That's fair. Maybe we can just cut a hole in the ceiling. That'll be good. But even so, it's an issue across most of the
So
when
this
I
is the new attack as well here.
crankshaft.
Yeah, crankshaft red.
Ooh, beautiful. So look at that art.
So this is the one that's when it's banished, you put a steam counter back on one of your hyperdrivers.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's just recurring resources because it's not a great rate card itself. 2 for 5 is 1 under rate. You normally look for 2 for 6 as the standard cost curve across Fab, but it has boost on it, so it's got go again. But that tends to be a negative and a positive for most dash strategies. Boosting, of course, loses the card from your deck, puts you more prone to fatigue, but it gives you go again, which is fantastic. But now boost is doing multiple things with this playstyle of charging the Hanabi Blaster and recurring the resource on Hyperdrive. Really cool synergy is just immediately out the gate from Matt. Just a huge barrage of reds as well. I think he just straight played 3 reds in that.
I think that was a yellow T-bone, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't take any damage, so it was 2.
Oh, was it just 2?
Yeah, it was yellow T-bone.
Okay.
It was a clean turn, got the counter on the blaster.
Yeah. Matt just drawing up these hands that probably just say go. That is what Dash is built for. I think I even see a max velocity in his hand. How nice is it? These hand games, gotta say. We're not even looking at it on a big screen. We're on these tiny ass little portable monitors. But I imagine if you've got this properly watched on like a 1080p.
There's a 0 to 60
monitor,
and a max velocity,
and yeah, I see 0 to 60 Spark of Genius, max velocity, something else. And we are on a tiny screen.
Maybe that's a
Incredible.
BIOS update. Unsure. He looks like he's like.
Oh, that is a new card, isn't it? I don't quite
I think it's BIOS update.
That's all right. I shouldn't squint. I've got enough optometrists in the chat that get mad at me over my glasses. The true story. So we'll stop pointing. But now we've got Matthew on his side. Just straight up, his turn is nice and easy. It is a clean cost curve, playing out Spinal with down off 3 cards. That is it.
It's a tragic turn. What is this turn? Technically his turn 1 back for a dash. He's Spinal Crush dominate.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see.
That's a feels bad moment.
Yeah, Matt definitely wanted. He went Arsenal there, right? So he was hoping to not really take his turn to set up. His turn was just damage, and then he wants to be able to just try to keep ripping these damage turns off the top, not necessarily slow down. But he's being forced to slow down by other Matt on the other side of the combat chain here.
Curious to know what his train of thought is here. Maybe block an Arsenal with maximum velocity. Try to like crack back really hard the following turn.
Yeah, you definitely see those kind of thoughts going through his head here. The one issue becomes he can only block with 1, right? And then he can only Arsenal 1. So what do you do with the other 2 cards? Well, you probably, you play 1. So you're going to be card inefficient on this kind of turn. You just will be. You don't have resource sinks like Grasp the Arknight. You don't have resource sinks like Seismic Surge, or Tectonic Plane rather. And he doesn't even have any counters to load on his items because that's not what Navi and Hyperdrive are allowing for this turn. So very different. Like he might just risk being card inefficient. Although I guess it depends as well. Like if he takes the turn to instead pay for the Spark of Genius, I don't know if you pay into that in this kind of strategy though, right? Because the Hyperdrivers are the Hyperdrivers free or do they cost 1?
They cost 1, and that's what the new card's for. You banish it. One of these, I will pull it up. You banish it and you get a mana. So then you can play the Hyperdrivers for free.
Yeah, okay. So maybe he does just 2 card play out the Hyperdriver, but that doesn't buy
I
him
will pull that
anything
up for chat. It's Jumpstart.
Yeah, that unfortunately wouldn't put any pressure
Oh, this
back
costs
on
1
him,
less to play it.
but he might do that.
One of these generates things.
Yeah, so people in the chat are commenting on, of course, some of the technical difficulties that we're experiencing. That's all right. I mean, there's nothing we can do, so I'll eat the comments. It's true. It's fair. What we're trying to do to fix it though is get support from SCGCon, because this is not a sponsored stream. I'm just doing this mostly because the community should get more access to content like this. Like that's just what Fab deserves. Like truly, you look at this. You look at this hall, and it's incredible the life that the Fab side of the hall has. Like, it's just buzzing. It's exciting. And this is a weekend where 2 sets came out. Brothers War for MTG, and then Dynasty for Fab. But the Brothers War side, I don't hear the same, oh my god! Like, the pulls, the excitement, everything that comes out of Dynasty is just electric compared to MTG. I'm biased. We're all biased. But that's why coverage like this is important, because Flesh and Blood needs to grow. The game is great. The community is great. The names are starting to be recognized. The players are insane. But where's the coverage? I mean, for God's sake, like freaking calling at San Jose wasn't even covered.
Yeah.
All these battle hardens go uncovered. So what I've done here is built a mobile setup to hopefully start doing this on the regular. Like I can fly with this is 2 bags. You've seen it now. It's 2 bags to get all this together. 2 bags. So I would love to just keep doing this across the U.S. and just bring what we can. To more Fab coverage everywhere. Now, unfortunately, what that means is there's some inconsistencies with things like internet, like we're experiencing now because we're 2 stories below. There are going to be some, I guess, hull issues as well. Like this is mask mandated, so it's a bit of muffled audio, but there's nothing we can do on that. It just is what it is. You know, as long as the games are here, as long as the players want to be on camera, we are here to facilitate. So all that's to say, Matt is still thinking.
No,
it's not his turn, is it?
This is the other Matt.
Oh,
So
other
Matt
Matt.
H is
So I
thinking
wasn't
on
wrong.
him.
So I was
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, you
Matt's
weren't
still
wrong.
thinking.
One of the Matts is thinking. It looks like he's playing out his turn. He was hesitating to play Bravo ability here, I believe. He's trying to figure out his best line.
Now, unfortunately, his side of the room is where there's a bit of glare. You can see a shadow on the mat because we do have a bit of a sun visor up to try to negate that, but it is just how it is. I see a Terra Sunder, a Pummel. Actually, the card clicking coming up big, helping identify these cards through some of the glare. But it's definitely a Pummel, a Terra Sunder. He's about to pitch one of the other cards in hand there.
He's activating Tekla.
crippling.
Oh,
It's crippling.
interesting. Pitching a crippling for Tekla. Or not Tekla, excuse me.
So what does that tell us? That
That's
must be a red Pummel or something. But even then...
Oh.
Okay, no. I see. He's going for just the actual Dominate Disruption there. Because if he went for the Crippling Crush, he wouldn't be able to dominate it. I think his hand was... Yeah, his hand wouldn't have paid for Dominate on the Crippling. So he's going for just the Guaranteed Disruption into this 5-card hand with Tekla, with Hyperdriver that Matt is setting up. Which is a smart play. Like, Matt really has it already these little pieces in play on the board. The board state is not representing damage itself, but it's supplementing the amount of pitch that Matt's going to have to use into his next turn. And we've already seen Matt just go all out on how many reds he's willing to throw down. Just burn through. And the closer he gets to that Hanabi Blaster charge, the more damage he has on that front too. So the Guaranteed Disruption from Matthew H is just really smart.
I think he's just pitching 2 T-bones here, which
Yeah, which is fine. That's distorted. Maybe it's not just enough.
it might just be the masks.
Oh, come on, people. That's just the mask muffle. Don't complain.
It's okay. I'll lower the mask to talk and get yelled at.
Be careful. If
And
we
then put
get
it back
thrown
up.
out, Alex, we gotta calm down here. All right. Like they literally can just pull the plug. I'm terrified. I am terrified. There's so many things already, so many hurdles we've got to jump through. I had to go talk to the venue itself, the casino itself, to get table access. SCG was willing to give one, but I had to go find a second one. It's just crazy. I would love, some more established support for these kind of things, but it's all right. This was the first go of it. We need to prove the value. We need to prove what we can bring, and then we'll just keep building from there. And maybe we get some more, not only legendary, just streams, maybe some legendary games, because this game's already good.
Yeah, this game's already good.
Already.
And we're seeing some pretty interesting lines here. That is exactly what Matthew Folks wanted to see, was a pitch an
Really?
entire hand for Anothos.
Matt is happy. You see him, he's starting to bob a little bit, getting excited, those shoulders are
All right,
rolling.
yeah, just snap took it. All right, here's the exciting turn we were talking about,
This is
boys.
it.
Tekla Core for mana.
Yeah, now unfortunately that wasn't an incorrect play or anything from left Matthew. It was just the hand. The hand was all reds.
And this is the new one.
Oh, BIOS update, right?
Yeah, BIOS update.
All right, what does this one do?
The next attack action card you boost gains +3.
Ooh.
And when you
Okay.
boost an item, you put it into the arena.
This, but I boost for
The next time it's boost this turn. Okay, so in theory, if you go for a huge boost chain here, you could find the item. It's not going to hit multiple items, but it might find one just in how long you go. Hopefully.
I trigger this as well.
Looks like he actually cracked
And for 6 go.
Visiertronic to go ahead. How does Visiertronic exactly work? I think what he did was guarantee that it hits an item, right? Like it's something along those lines.
Same time.
Whenever you boost this turn, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Okay.
Yeah,
this
so
might
he's
be,
going to
like,
cycle and
big
put an
turn.
item back here.
Yeah.
So that first attack is going to be plussed by the non-attack action and Teklo Pounder. So it's just coming in huge with still a full grip, because that was from Arsenal, that first card. So he's got 3 cards left to attack with here.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's going a bit madman on the shuffle. I think I see 2-0 to 60, and then maybe that card that we
That
saw.
new one, yeah.
That new one that we saw turn
2-0 to 60s and
the 2 for 5. The one that refreshes Hyperdriver.
and Crankshaft.
Crankshaft. Ooh, what a
So
lovely name.
we'll pull that up for you here. So that's his hand is 2-0 to 60s and a Crankshaft.
Yeah, so he's, I didn't actually catch if he guaranteed the item on top or what.
It was a quick put on top. I didn't quite
Yeah, I
see
didn't
it
quite see it
either.
either.
But you would assume if he cracked it, he had the item, right? Otherwise, why would he do that?
Right, right. Now it'd be lovely if he actually had the big mech construct turn coming for him, but that's just unfortunately never going to line up. So he's going to have to buy room later in the game.
Oh,
to do
yes.
that.
So he's 0 to 60,
Okay,
hits a
okay,
Teklo core, gets to play the Teklo core for free, which is huge.
Okay, yeah, so he definitely guaranteed that with the vision
Yeah,
coverage,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there is no line that actually could be the mech construct though, because he'd need the 3 hyperdrivers specifically.
So he also gets the entire turn, he gets to cycle a card back and forth with Physiotronic.
Right, right.
So
Now, can you pull up construct the thing? Because I thought you had to have 4 mech equipment pieces. Is that wrong?
But that's resolved. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you break Physiotronic,
So this is coming in for.
transform target mechnologist's head, chest, arms, legs, weapon, and 3 hyperdrivers. Okay, so he is losing the headpiece, so he actually can never go for the mech.
From
Like he just can't.
it looks like he's going full boost in the dash here rather than try to build the mech.
Yeah, he's going straight aggressive, which is actually it's interesting. It's a decent call into how we see Bravo's hands already being drawn because there's a lot of 2 blocks. We already saw the pummels, the zealous beltings. He definitely kept in some defense reactions. We saw a sink get pitched, but there are enough 2 blocks in there that Matthew can probably punish.
you're trying to lie. Doesn't just draw me a card. I have to put one back.
Yep.
Okay, I see. Matthew clarifying. Look at that. When we shush for a second, we can listen right in. Wonderful. So clarify. Matt not doing anything shady. He's just deciding on the visit crack. Perfect. That's what we love to see. See,
We got there.
he gets a little crazy with it, but I promise you, he's trying to do the right thing. It just looks sideways sometimes.
On 2,
Yeah.
hyperdriver on 1,
Yep.
pounder on 2, 0 to 60 coming in for 3.
Yep.
Busy trying to modelize resolved. We're all good.
We're good.
All right, so Matt is not using the little attack tokens, but from what we heard there, that is a yellow 0 to 60. I think I can see that anyway, honestly. It looked a little red at first, but that is a yellow. Just with how Matt is, I'm not going to ask him to do the attack tokens, but they do help in things like this. The whole point is just to track damage, right? But here we go. The chat actually, let's take a look at that poll. The chat really favored Dash in this matchup.
First,
So either they're Matt stands, specifically UK, right Matt, Matt F stands, or they are just very convinced this new Dash is going to roast an old deck like Bravo. Interesting.
too many
I think they're just more excited to see Dash in this. So there's one little
something like that.
prop issue. What's that? I think it was this one.
Go.
There we go. Should be good. Nope, it's still doing it. Okay, sorry. 1 second. Yeah, you hear Matt say it as well. Too many things going on for his, for how comfortable he is with the board state.
Shoot for 5.
5
Just
over.
remove 2 counters to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm just going insane. Come on. Let's fix that crop. There we go. All right, crop is fixed. Beautiful. Very minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
chat says
the
it's Dash in. That makes sense. She's a
Dash. Also,
favorite.
just a hype deck right now, man. Feels good.
Definitely, and I think a lot of people are they're eager not only for the new cards, but Sam Yang was out at San Jose signing dashes nonstop. Saw it all the time. Just nonstop line of people wanting the dash to sign. I don't think Matt has his sign, but there are definitely a huge slew of people in the world now who have the elusive Sam Yang signature on this wonderful hero that they want to put out there in the wild.
Sure.
Yep.
Double Blaster to close the game seems strong in the matchup. Double Blaster, is that... Can you pull up Hanabi? I feel like that is something you can do. It's maybe not once per turn. I guess we'll find out.
But it's fine. It's been a mess. No, it's a mess of a turn.
Hanabi.
Don't worry. This is, it's way too much.
Yeah, there we go.
on this one, so it's-
Once per turn, remove team to steam to attack. Okay, so it is once per turn. You can't...
5 over.
I guess you can't exactly shoot twice,
But he does get a free 5 here at the end of this
but it
chain.
is with overpower as well. So maybe what you mean is just the amount of pressure late game.
So it looks like he's
having Blaster
keeping that
stocked up
last
as
card
well.
for an Arsenal too, which we know is another 0 to 60.
Yeah.
Or the card that he was swapping off the top of the deck, but I think it's 0 to 60.
All right. Now let's see. It's actually, for as much as is going on, Matt H went into this turn with enough of a life lead that He can probably look to return this hand aggressively if he wants. He even used Crown to really make this a 5-card hand. From what I can peep, it looks like he does have a crippling pummel. I doubt he can pay for it all. There's likely another red in there or something. The color strip is something that you can probably see better on a larger screen. I haven't an issue there, especially with a deck like Bravo that will run multiple colors of things like pummel. But we'll find out in due time. This is interesting because I would assume that Combustible Courier maybe isn't exactly in this list, but I feel like there's a new card or two that is a hit effect these days, right?
You would think so.
There's something new, right? Or maybe it's the one. There's the new Majestic. It's not even a hit effect. It's just let me look at your hand and bang or something, which is insane. That card is nuts. Pulse Wave Harpoon. Yeah, this card is insane. Like, I already was wanting to take a break from Levi, but this card makes me absolutely never want to play Levi again. This is nuts. If Dash, a matchup that was free for Levi, becomes awful now because of this singular card, I don't know what we do now as Levi stands.
All right, so we're seeing him give equipment and keep this 5-card grip, so you can only assume it's coming back pretty strong here. Seismic Surge token pops.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's a crippling in hand. I see the Bravo spec outline.
Stamp Authority, Pummel, and Crippling Crush. Just 3 of his cards.
Yep. Yep.
There we go. So what he's going to do here is, instead of pay for the Dominate, it is hold the pummel, which is just terrifying. Like, it's so telegraphed. Like, what can you do, right? It's just so obvious it's a pummel, because otherwise Bravo pays for the Dominate every time. So what do you do? Like, Matt is just, he's at risk of losing an insane turn because he's got the Teklo core about to tick off and give him 2 resources. But when your hand is impacted as much as this crippling's about to do, then what do you do with those 2 resources? You don't even have resource sinks like your items to dump them.
Yeah, makes it a really, really tough swing back. You have to have disruption every turn, though. You saw what happens. You give Matt 1 turn. It's a lot of extra gas he got from that 1 turn.
Ooh, oh, Matt, but you know it's a pummel. But what can you do, right? Okay, I guess he's still gonna think about it. But maybe he has to block around the blue pummel specifically. If it's a red, then it just goes. Because right now he's blocking 8, which he's just saying pummel me. Like, he's just saying pummel me. And it's a red pummel. It is red pummel. Okay, so not much you could do around that anyway. But that's the thing, like, if you know it's a pummel, then just throw your whole hand on block.
I'll take 7.
Because you don't get to keep anything, right? Like, you're going to lose 3.
Yeah.
So just dump your hand on block.
I feel like if he does that though and can block it out, then he doesn't pummel here, right?
Oh, it's non-blocks. Okay, we see at least the Teklo. Maybe it was 2 non-blocks.
Maybe it was 2 non-blocks.
Oh, I didn't even actually look at that. I was so busy on left Matthew H, Maryland Matthew's side.
2 resources.
I didn't actually peep the Matthew hand. Oh, there's so much going on. There's so many things to look at, Alex. It's wonderful. There's so much information.
So much information.
So much information. Tannen says, who else thinks Mansant is dreamy? Oh, Tannen. Well, look, we're both from Louisiana. Do need to warn you, like, maybe we might be related, so calm down a bit. But then again, we're from Louisiana, so if we're related, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm from Florida, and even that one was a little much.
At least you're not from Bama.
Yeah, true.
Stay away.
True.
All right, so Matthew, like we just said, he lost the Teklo core. Teklo core counter, because it is good to note there were 2 counters on it. So while his last turn was completely washed, he still could build that super multiplicative turn of 5 cards in hand, plus Teklo counter, plus Hyperdriver, plus a Teklo core trigger. The only thing he's not going to get out of that is having the Hanabi Blaster be able to shoot that same turn. He can't get it all off in 1 turn. So missing that last turn really did interrupt how he wants to push with Hanabi Blaster. It's kind of incredible what a crippling pummel can do.
It turns out crippling pummel is really strong.
Yeah. Okay, so it was both non-blocks. Pounder and core, says Shamir. Thank you, Shamir. Just woke up, going to MTG pre-release later. Tannen, you know what you need to do? You need to tweet at SCGCon and tell them to give me Wi-Fi. That's what you need to do, Tannen, before you go to the MTG pre-release.
I don't even think if they give you Wi-Fi, it's going to help in this venue, but...
I don't know. They're running quite a lot off of it. They have all those little laptop stands that are running off it, so it must be pretty decent. Okay, we see Zealous. This is... Oof. so juicy. Like even though it's a vanilla damage turn,
What's his hand?
it's double macho.
Grandes?
Yeah. So even though it's just a vanilla damage turn, it's so much pressure. Like Bravo having access to go again, either from Zealous or Rouse, is just, it's almost like it shouldn't work. Like it's just so good. Like when I see a Rouse hand from Bravo, I cry because that rate is like a Levia rate, and yet they don't have to deal with Blood Debt, and they're not even really wasting cards because there's another swing there. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. And they can one card it off, Pulverize. And then Zealous is, not as good as that, but it's still pressure. It's still pressure. Oof. Look at that. Yeah. And what's crazy about the life totals we're pushing here is that Macho Grande in Arsenal, yes, it costs 7, but we're going into Matthew H, left Matthew, Maryland Matthew, with a Seismic Surge. So he'll be able to pay 2 blue for that Macho, which then has to nominate for 8, even if blue. So if Matt gets greedy here and just says, yes, I'll take it to try to hold this hand, then Matt just knows, I keep 2 cards, I win. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, Matt is going to respect it. He doesn't want to just lose that kind of dominance. Oh, Matthew, it's rough. It's rough. Matthew H has just seemed so comfortable. Like his game plan has just been that normal Bravo game plan in his dash, which is I'm just going to play mans aggressively. Nothing too crazy. I do really love the line he went on Terra Thunder. That was just such a good call because he could have played for the crippling, but Terra Thunder guaranteed to interrupt Matthew's board state, which is just really smart. He did plump up that hand of all reds, which sure slowed him down a bit. It gave Matthew a big turn, and that's why the game looks more even. But as we've seen the turn cycles line up, I think Matthew H has just been handily ahead on those turns here. Especially since Matt gave up his ability to ever play for the net construct, which...
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, do you actually do that in this matchup? Maybe he Hail Married it just with Vizier, like, trying to build up into this crazy Techno Core board state, but we've just seen it slow down so drastically. I almost feel like he would have had the time to go for the Nitro net construct if he wanted to.
Yeah, jump start.
Jump start.
7.
Look at all these new cards.
Again,
Not relevant. He did boost it, but I want to know what it does. Now, jump start.
I was going to pull up a card he's using.
Oh, no, I want to see jump start. We've seen Crankshaft in them now. Jump start. Oh, that's wonderful art. Look at that. If you control a Hyperdiver, it costs 1 less to play, so it becomes a 1/5 go again. What a great card. What a great card. So much aggression behind this deck. But he did play Crankshaft. That's the other one, yeah. I wish Manstate and Matt were in full cosplay. Oh, that'd be quite the lot, wouldn't it? I know Matt would go back in a heartbeat to wear that amazing cosplay by the lovely Carolina, who is in chat. Carolina Alvarado, the winner, the grand winner, double winner even, back-to-back of both Pro Tour. Oh no, not both Pro Tour, sorry. Pro Tour #1 and now Worlds of the wonderful Cold Soil Taylor that made the chain cosplay most recently that Matt actually wore. Man, he had amazing cleavage. I don't know if you saw that. Matt has such defined pec lines. Very interesting.
Someone's reaching out for us. Maybe
Oh,
we'll get
I'm
it a
reaching
little
out to
bit
some
better.
SCG employee friends, see if they can contact people at the venue, fingers crossed. Now, thank you, Cardboard Cask. The one thing I am worried about is the guy in charge definitely is a bit wary of, like, the amount of things that I'm trying to set up here. It's not a huge footprint that I'm leaving at the venue. Like, it is definitely small. We're backed away in a corner. But I really feel like if we do one more thing, ask for one more favor, he might just pull the plug, which I'm worried about. I hope it goes the other option, which is just, you know what?
Like the whole
It's
Flesh
great.
and Blood community would go up in arms over them shutting us down for no reason.
Oh, that's fair. There we go. It happened on stream too.
Yeah.
So I really think that just can't happen at this point. But so I do hope that they instead go the other route, which is, you know what? Let's help. Let's help.
You would think they'd be eager to help, right? Like, but we'll
I
see.
hope so. Yeah, we got like 200 viewers. We're even showing an SCGCon ad reel for free, by the way.
free.
I wanted to fill out some ad slots, and I actually really like the ad they put out because I'm in like half of it because they recorded it at SCGCon Syracuse where I got second. So there's like a bunch of clips of me in it, so I put it in. Free advertising. So we see here, Matt looks very dejected, honestly. Look at his body posture, totally changed.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that card in his arsenal is another boost, so he gets the counter on the gun
Yeah.
here. at
Well,
the
we know
very
this, right?
least.
It's the 0 to 60 from like 2 times.
Yeah, true. I think so, unless he swapped it with the card on top, and that's the 0 to 60 that was in his hand.
Oh,
yeah, it's a
okay.
zipper
Yep.
hit.
Yeah, you're right. But
Hanabi blaster.
all right, yeah. So it's just a vanilla damage turn. He doesn't look super happy about it because, of course, it's not pressing lethal. But he has caught Matt on a bit of an awkward hand as well.
Yeah, so
Um,
it's looking like that's double unmovable in this game.
Yeah, I don't know if they're both blue though. I almost think one is red, one is blue.
That's probably best case scenario for Matt here, folks.
It is, but if they are both blue, then he gets the macho turn off, which actually, because Matt blocked last turn, he should be very happy about, because now Matt is going to get the ability to say,
Yeah, this pivot
you
is so
return
quick
for
him.
8.
Yeah,
I go to 1.
yeah.
Oh, that's so
He
wonderful.
swings 8, goes to 1 here, and then he has a full crackback with a Teklo Pounder. Can assume the gun's gonna get its second counter.
Okay, he's not going to go there. He's instead going to swing 6 with a no face. He's going to save the Macho Grande and Arsenal as a potential dominate close with a seismic loop for next turn. If Matt gets greedy right now on this 6, which from Matt's position he should probably likely do.
Yeah, I would
From this
assume
position he should.
opponents at 9, you get a full grip here with a Teklo Pounder and a free gun shoot.
Right. Yeah, he should definitely look to.
But it seems to be like he's thinking about blocking here again. Depends on what you can do with that hand. So like last turn he kept 2 cards and was able to push 3 boosts to get the counter. We see something similar like that.
Well, I think because he has a little bit of room to breathe, right? Because he has the Teklo Pounder in play and the Hyperdriver. So because he's got those, he can operate on a smaller hand to still push enough to make Matthew bluff. And that might be what he tries to go for while he buys room to Arsenal, and then use the Arsenal as a true hand pivot into another weak turn for Matt. But as we know, Matt is just waiting for that life threshold to get to the point where 2 blues plus the Seismic closes the game with the Macho. So Matt needs to be very oh my god, so many Matts. Matthew F, UK Matt,
Folks,
right Matt, Folks Matt, Pro Tour Matt needs to be just ever so careful about his life thresholds, because I doubt he runs any 4 blocks in the deck. You wouldn't add that to this kind of list. So what he's got on board is just 2 more equipment. Plus, of course, he'll be able to block with 3 from hand. So if he ever goes to 3, he dies. He will just die, which is exactly what would happen if he takes this notice. He
yeah,
will
or
just die
gives
to
it 1
Macho.
turn, right? So
Yeah.
like, he has to give it 2 or not block it at all.
Yeah, I think he also needs
So
to
he
be scared
drew
of the pummel, right?
He
That's
drew
the
another
other.
Spark of Genius, which isn't a good card here for him.
No, at least it blocks, unlike the other items, right? But I think what Matt also needs to be a bit worried about is if this could be a pummel. I think Matthew H, Maryland Matt, Left Matt, American Matt, he definitely didn't play it as if it was a pummel, but that could also be a tell in its own way.
Right,
It could be a bit of a mega mind play, where he plays very slowly on his turn, doesn't seem confident in the play, and then it's a pummel, and then you win.
Right.
So definitely something Matt also has to respect, and I think Matt is someone who actually does read body language quite a bit. He talked to me a lot about how much he tried to read Isaac Fruit at Denver Battlehard. Like, just straight up, game state came second. It was about his opponent, because Isaac is so stone cold, steely, chilly, no words. Man's just a mute. But he had tells that Matt was trying to pick up on, because he couldn't get info from anything else in the game. So Matt, I don't know, he's been staring a lot at his own board,
+2.
but maybe he is factoring a bit of that into how he's playing. Uh, 0 to 60, right?
Yeah, I was looking at the card he hit.
Oh, okay. 0 to 60, right?
Red.
Matt Folk shuffles like he's trying to light a fire. Matt. Look, we like Matt, all right? I can't get on him for any of his idiosyncrasies. He definitely has a lot of them. He really does. But as a whole, I quite like him, so we'll just let him be. Looks like he's asking a judge.
Am I allowed to look at my side?
So after the I can double check with the
Yeah. It's not too important. I'm fairly certain I know what's in my deck. I just wanted to make sure that I sideboard it.
Oh, I actually love that we got to hear that. What
Yeah.
an interesting question, because I definitely do that without even asking a judge. But Matt does have to be a bit careful, because if he starts grabbing things, everyone's so on the watch around him that maybe it would look bad. I don't know if you actually can, though. I definitely do. During a game, if I have a quick question, I'll check sideboard. Okay, that's that's something that's not on my list right now. Oh, that's right. I went to one count. Whatever. But for a deck like Dash, it's even more relevant. Okay, they said no checking your sideboard.
Interesting. I don't think that's actually the ruling anymore. I think you're absolutely allowed to check your sideboard.
Well, I go in for tokens and stuff, and like if I'm in the deck anyway to like grab a blast with that token, then like I can peek at something if I'm like really interested. I would never grab it just willy-nilly. But it is relevant.
We'll pull
for
Brody in between rounds and ask him. He was talking to me about it at Worlds, how he does that to check his deck. So like, I'm pretty sure you can.
Well, either way, it would have been big for Matt Fultz here because he's definitely on like a newer deck, right? This is a version of Dash that he's definitely new to. How would he have reps so much on it in such a short amount of time? So he needs to check little things like that to make sure he's making optimal plays because Dash is a deck that will just churn through the deck, churn through. And if he's playing for a potential line off the top, then yeah, knowing every card in your deck and being able to double check where it is in your deck because of what's been pitched, played, banished, blocked, like all that is massive.
That was a tough sequence there. One attack into a Teklo Pounder.
Yeah. To be fair, that was not that
what we
good.
were looking for.
To be fair, not that good.
Looks like we're going to get another atypical damage turn from Bravo.
Interesting. So he's actually withholding a bit of information here on whether or not he's making the seismic surge as well. I love little play lines like this that Bravo players make. So they're very subtle, but it is the kind of thing that makes Bravo look even more scary because from this kind of position, if Matt wasn't quite sure about the pummel last turn, this still leaves all lines open because maybe even if Matt here drew like a red in hand, he can still pitch that red for pummel. He's keeping everything open for Matt in terms of unknowns. Because if he had made the seismic first, then Matt can put him on, he has to have a blue to be able to play that pummel. So by having that resource in the open now, he's most likely going to pitch it for the seismic. But there's no benefit gained or lost by the combat chain in this scenario because Matt's already down to just one block on both of his equipments. So it's just a bit of information hold that I really enjoy. Because I do think his turn is just seismic hammer, right? Like I didn't see the card in hand, but it's most likely a blue. He can't pitch it anyway for the Macho Grande and Arsenal. So okay. Yes, people in chat are saying 100% allowed to check sideboard. Yeah, a bunch of people are saying that. Yeah. Okay, see, that's exactly what we're talking about. Look at that little information hold, but it is going to be the seismic, and that's the loop that he wants to. Oh no way! Oh, no way. He can't swing? Oh, he can. Okay. Oh, he was just clarifying that the combat chain closed. Yeah. But he really wants to prioritize keeping that seismic in loop because of the life threshold he needs to put Matt at, right? He puts him at 3, he wins. Because he'll be able to hold the 2 blues from the show. Matt is just not going to live long enough to even get those 3 counters off Pounder, I'm pretty sure. Because now he dies. This is just him done. 4.16 in the CR. So we'll let Matt know after the fact, just in case he has to do that at another point in the game today, or in the tournament today. So unfortunately, from what we know in the game state, as long as Matt keeps 2 cards, he wins. I don't see Matt being able to really pull this out off just 3-card hand, and Matt having just so many 3 blocks in the deck. And
we're getting a throttle for what, 8 here?
Yeah.
He's definitely going to have to block.
Which is, I mean, like, that's enough. It'll force it down, but like we know, unless Matt bricks on all reds, which it already looks like he did. It looks like he has at least 2 blues.
I mean, we're looking at him. If he had kept 1 more boost, it would have been attack into the gun, which would have been plenty.
Oh, true.
Getting that second counter on gun or missing on it this many turns. Like, imagine if that wasn't a Teklo Pounder here and we had another attack and he had the 5 from Blaster instead. Yeah,
that's actually so big. You're right about the gun. The gun would have pushed it, but he's going to miss that. And that's from what we saw on the disruptive left Matt, Maryland Matt, US Matt turns. When he went for the disruption, it was to impact the ability for Matt to have his full use of stuff like the Teklo core to really build into a 5-card hand. And by slowing him down that much, not only did it just buy him the turn cycle, it bought him the game almost, because we've seen Matt now only been able to shoot with Navi Blaster once.
Yep.
Once.
One
And-
Hanabi blaster per game's not the rate you're looking for.
No way. Especially
But
from.
it looks like, is his hand double showtime and
Yeah.
then choke slam?
So
What's
he
that
actually
last
he
card?
clumped all 3 showtimes. He had a showtime last hand, but now he double drew it. It's a red choke slam, crippling crush, double showtime. So he has the 2 blues. Like that's all that's
Yeah.
relevant in this hit. We've got 220 people watching right now.
Very cool.
Very much enjoying this game. I am as well. Like, I hope you can tell. Last game, little checked out, chat heavy. This is incredible.
So we're getting 2 blocks here. Interesting.
So is that? Oh, you know what he's doing?
He's taken 2.
He's respecting.
Oh, and it's
He's
a
respecting
hyper
Matt's
trigger.
potential second attack to kind of block around, keeping
man.
potentially this hand as well, where he can use Seismic, pitch the blue for chokeslam for 8, which doesn't actually win the game. It won't have dominate. Actually, I'm not quite sure if he should have done that. Then I feel like if you just keep the 2
He
blues.
just gets Macho Grande here.
Oh, it's a blue chokeslam. It is a blue chokeslam. Okay, I thought it was a red chokeslam. It was just going to show 8. But yeah, this should just be game now. Matt cannot block this. He's got 1 block left on equipment. And that was a
Good
good
game.
number. Great game.
Those sequences though from Matthew Folks at the end there, where you're ending on a hyperdriver, you're ending on a Teklo Pounder instead of ending on attacks, where it's just critical.
Gonna be in my deck
Oh no, you hear Matt saying this.
For this matchup, or does it all like?
for this game.
Yeah.
Because I decided to play boost into you
Gotcha.
because you didn't have a shield in play
Right.
before the game.
Yeah.
So I said I'll play boost, but I missed this card when I recycled it.
Gotcha.
And it's like so disastrously terrible when I draw it here because it just
Yeah, exactly.
I can't block.
Right.
I can't
You
play
had a
it.
couple earlier ones, right? So you
Well,
want the whole hyperdriver?
I start the game with a red hyperdriver.
Oh, just one. Okay.
Yeah, and then it just
Gotcha.
have the one.
Gotcha.
And I drew this and I was like, oh shit,
Right.
because it doesn't block,
Right.
it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I got 3 extra. If it just blocked for 3, it would be fine.
Yeah.
Or if it attacked for 4 and forced another
Yeah.
block out of his hand.
Wow, very man. Just hearing Matt talk about that, definitely
This game.
sympathize with him a little bit. It was rough. Yeah, we were questioning it too. Like, where's the Met construct line if you pop Vizier that early? That just wasn't his game plan. He just missed
Like,
siding out those cards. That is just unfortunate.
And also drawing into weird sequences. Like the turn where he popped the helmet, if he had drawn into any of the other items to put back on top to boost into free items would have been huge. But he got 1 Teklo Pounder out of it. No, 1 Teklo 4 out of that helmet, which is like definitely not the game plan here.
No, although to be fair,
I just
the whatever card he had played, BIOS update only lets him put the next item anyway. It's not every single one.
Okay.
But that is still a low impact item because it says 2 or less. So potential for like pounder, and instead he
Yeah.
just got the 4 out. All right, Hyperloops in chat says, could you say Bravo and Dash? I think you're missing the comedic element. We gotta, hype it up a little bit more than that. Hype up the different mats. UK, US Clash,
I was like,
different parts of the country, different parts of the world on 2 very different heroes, 2 very polarized heroes normally. So no, Bravo Dash is too boring. You gotta hype it up. It looks like most people are walking around. We're gonna switch back to the ambient cam and find our next round opponent. If you want to check it out, Phil.
Yep.
See how
I'll
he
go
did.
check on Phil. Looks like Pat Eshby is here too, which means Charles
I love
Dunn's
Pat.
probably here too.
All right, let's go ahead and run the.
Flesh and blood. Out of all the locations of Wraith, the newest expansion, Dynasty, takes us to the Imperial throne of Volcor, right in the midst of the ensuing power struggle between the reigning Jokai and the rebellious Volkai. As the world of Wraith watches the mighty houses clash, a lone operative from the pits threw the realm into chaos. In a flash, the Emperor of Volcor lay dead at the hands of Arachne, Huntsman. Dynasty gives players the tools to play their part in the chaotic fallout. Will you take aim as a ranger, smash and bash with a rock, close contracts as an assassin, or even man the controls of a mech construct? Dynasty is the perfect product for both new and established players. From a box, you can build a brand new assassin deck or add cards to your favorite hero. Find it at your local LGS today.
No matter the format or level of competition you're looking for with Flesh and Blood, SCGCon has got you covered with 3 days filled with as much gaming as possible. On top of big events like Armory and Battle Hardened tournaments, a full suite of side events is always at the ready for any format you want to play. From Classic Constructed, to Blitz, to limited events like Sealed and Draft, on-demand side events will make sure you can get a game whenever you want. Armory events award prize wall tickets and special Armory promos. Check StarCityGames.com/SCGCon to see what format will be featured at the Armory event you're attending. Battle Hardened events provide a higher level of competition and a higher rewards to go along with it. Battle through a number of rounds of Swiss and a single elimination top 8 to win cash prizes, special playmats, and 2 Pro Tour invitations for the finalists. The winner even walks away with an extremely rare Gold Cold Foil Legendary card. Formats vary for Battle Hardened events, so check the schedule before registering. Classic Constructed is considered the quintessential Flesh and Blood experience. Bring an 80 card deck with an adult hero, up to 3 copies of each card, and settle in for a lengthy battle against each opponent. Rounds are 50 minutes long and usually go the distance. Blitz is a constructed format aimed at quicker, fast-paced games. Decks are 40 cards and use young heroes with a limit of 2 copies of each card in your deck. To keep a quick pace, rounds are only 30 minutes long. Draft and Sealed are perfect for players that don't have a deck ready to go. In Sealed, you open up 6 packs and build a 30-card deck. A deck can only use generic cards and cards with the same class and/or talent as your hero. Don't worry if your packs don't have a specific hero, weapon, or equipment, those are provided. Draft is a bit different. 8 players have 3 packs and build decks by opening packs one at a time and taking a single card, passing the packs around the table, taking 1 card from each pack. After all cards are selected, players build a 30-card deck just like in Sealed. Not quite sure how to play, but wanting to get involved in Flesh and Blood? Check out our How to Play video. No matter how you play, we look forward to seeing you in the Flesh and Blood at SCGCon.
Oh, sweet Leviah, let's just clean you up for camera a little. And there we go. Hey, I'm Sant, and I'm here to tell you about a great analytical tool for Flesh and Blood that I really enjoy and will help you level up your game. Fabrek, found at fabrek.gg. If you play or have played Magic the Gathering, you're probably familiar with EDHREC, a powerful website that has become a community staple with useful content and data analysis. Fabrek is made by that same great team. What Fabrek does is gather a huge amount of competitive deck lists from a variety of sources and then provides useful insight for each hero and the formats in general. On the homepage here, we can see all the heroes from Flesh and Blood. It's defaulted to show both the young and old, but you can set your tab to Blitz or CC only if you'd like. And here we have Dromai, Ash Artist, a powerful and new fun hero from the Rising set. Instantly, we can see statistics taken from the average of all the deck lists for Dromai. Now, the first thing you can see is the card distribution, pitch, and cost averages. As expected, Dromai has a high number of red cards, and a high number of 0 and 1 cost cards. Additionally, this card distribution chart shows the significant usage of defense reactions. Now, as we scroll down, you will see the most commonly played cards in Dromai separated by their type. Notice the high usage of Phantasmal Footsteps, and lesser so with more niche cards like Crowned Reflection that you normally see coming up in a Dromai's sideboard. Now, scrolling down further, we get to the juicy part, what I definitely want to see, the most popular dragons. Notice how Invoke Chromai, Kyloria, and Miragai are showing up nearly 100% of the time in Dromai decks. These are clearly the staple dragons you want to start your deck with. Now further down we see the dragons people tend to pass up on in their Dromai decks, namely Vincerikai and Themai. So back at the homepage, there are similar data for all the heroes in the world of Wraith. It's a great way for new players to explore each hero and see what cards and types of cards that hero likes to use. Additionally, you can check out the most popular cards in Blitz and Classic Constructed in their Staples tab. Here we see the most popular generic cards that are showing up in each deck, which is really useful for deciding which to invest in as you are getting into the game, since these cards are being used for sure across multiple heroes. Similarly, you can see class staples on this page here, and don't you know it, I'm going to go ahead and click on Brute. Now, as expected, here are the most popular cards by type that are used across each Brute hero, including our favorite, Leviah. Now, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the video here, and be sure to check out my content on Sant at YouTube, streams, gameplay, everything to do with Leviah, and keep your eye out for Fabrek as well. Future features for sure. Try it now, a great tool for Flesh and Blood players right here on fabrek.gg.
Imagine a world where you create your own card sleeves. Leave the crayons. Your phone? I don't think so. No time for arts and craft. Please don't. What? A blender? Stop. Look here. I'll show you. Use the sleeve crafter. Upload your own images. And print it on a Dragon Shield sleeve. Dragon Shield Sleeve Crafter. power to create.
while you're getting set up, make sure you guys have enough.
Okay.
I'll get it.
The computer just like really tried to commit seppuku, but hopefully we are okay. This is actually like very scary though.
Just yell for it.
Like the computer just totally tanked. I'm very worried now. I'm very worried now. But
I don't know.
I have slight faith.
Mostly they just say banish.
Come on.
Are we back up?
I have tried to reset like everything, and the monitors are still freaking out.
Is
Like,
it
I
just
really-
our monitors?
It's the monitors. Everything else has been fine,
Oh,
but like they are actively dying.
well,
I've unplugged, replugged, reconnected.
that's my gig, right?
I have no idea what happened. It's very alarming though, because like we do need to see. I also need to fix the life, which I can't do if the monitors don't turn on. Yeah, everything is tight. No, the monitors are actually through USB. Try to just plug them back in again. Come on. Come on. You can turn on monitors. You can do it. It's crazy. The stream's still live. The computer's okay. Internet's still whatever. But the monitors just have refused to turn on. Huh. I think something just is happening overall with the computer though. I do think overall something is tapped out. Yeah, let me just unplug the hub.
I feel like it's just gonna model if I put a mask on.
Yeah, the whole computer is just frozen now. That is awful.
Let's try. Odds evens, mate.
I'll take evens.
No, I don't know either.
It's literally the whole computer, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's still kind of cutting in. I think we just need to, like, get control back, and I can fix it.